Papa's Posse. Welcome back to the channel. Once again, it's time for Papa's comic books, coffee, and more. Okay, today's episode will be, are we ready? Marvel Comics Group. Marvel Adventure featuring Daredevil, number 1, 25 cents back in 1975. The Triman Lives. This book is by Stan the Man Lee and Gene Colan. Now don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Hit that subscribe button. Really helps the channel a lot. I really appreciate that. Give me a like if you don't mind. And leave a comment. Tell me what you thought about it. Let's get into it. But even if you defeat him, Hornhead, you haven't a chance against the gladiator in the masked marauder. The Triman Lives. Daredevil, the man without fear. I've defeated the Owl and rescued Judge Lewis, but the danger isn't over yet. I've still got to guide this mechanical bird to a safe landing by means of weight shifting and balance alone. You did it, Daredevil. We've reached the mainland safely. We're over Long Island now. With the controls inoperative, I never thought you could steer this flying nightmare by using your own body as a rudder. Remember, Judge, you mustn't move. The slightest motion can change our angle of flight. I wonder what he'd say if I told him I'm doing it without the benefit of sight. I wouldn't have believed that any man could have sense of balance delicate enough to accomplish a feat like this. What's that? A sudden ticking sound from beneath the bird's metal head covering? If it means what I think, and since you know how I feel about you true believers, we'll show you what DD can only guess at. Now that I've reached my emergency area in safety, I can still have my revenge. Daredevil has no way of knowing that I have a high-potency bomb concealed with any mechanical owl, a bomb which would detonate itself in exactly 30 seconds. But no matter how wise a wicked owl may be, cannot plan everything. For example, he cannot guess that the man with no fear does have a way of knowing. It's a time bomb. With a hyper-keen hearing, I know there can be no doubt. Can go off any second. Have to land at once, no matter what. Daredevil, what is it? Well, what happened? We had a narrow escape, Your Honor, but we're safe now. Sooner or later, I'll meet up with the owl again. And when I do, he won't escape a second time. Don't reproach yourself, my boy. You saved my life, broke up the owl's gang of cutthroats and destroyed his hideout island. You even managed to free that courageous blind lawyer, Matt Murdock. I had a more selfish motive in doing that than the judge suspects. Later at the Madison Avenue law offices of Nelson and Murdoch, it's so good to have Matt back with us again. My life seems so strangely empty when he's gone. If only I knew the answer to his frequent disappearances. Any new development in the case of the escaped rhino, Foggy? He's still at large, Karen, and I've heard that Spider-Man is on his trail right now. I still can't see why that bloodthirsty fool broke out of jail just as I was preparing a writ of habeas corpus for him. But let's forget about business for a while. How about dinner with me tonight, Karen? I might as well haven't heard from Matt since his return. Certainly, Foggy. I'll bet she'd have said that with a lot more enthusiasm if my name was Matt Murdock. I hope he's all right. A sightless man, all alone in the city? Rat-a-tat-tat. Heroes in action. Oh, Mr. Nelson, you're leaving now, I see. Hello there, Mr. Farnham. I wasn't expecting you. No, I don't want to impose upon you. It can wait. It is something important? I was just wondering if you'd had a chance to draw up those new leases for this building yet. I'll have them in a few days, Mr. Farnham. Since you're converting from rentals to cooperative plan, there are many modifications needed. I see very well, Nelson. There's no rush. I just happen to be passing by. Just phone me when you're ready. Farnham is the sort of client I like. He pays his bills promptly, doesn't rush us, and hasn't raised our rent in months. I wish we had more like him. Clients who aren't dangerous, unpredictable supervillains. And yet, isn't it strange how Matt seems to thrive on the more colorful crime cases? But perhaps lovely Karen Page wouldn't find it so strange if she could see the sightless, somewhat shy Matt Murdock right now. I've covered most of the city in the past few hours. Wherever the owl may have holed up, I'm pretty sure of one thing. He's nowhere in the vicinity of New York. My radar sense could hardly miss his potential bird-like emanations. I'd better forget him for a while and get back to the office now. After the humiliating setback, I handed him the Owl May head for parts unknown, which wouldn't exactly break my fearless little heart one bit. In fact, I could use a little peace and quiet to catch up on my own law work. Quickly, the Gladiator and the Masked Marauder seemed to have dropped out of sight. Also, perhaps I'd better start going a little easier on the various costume crooks around town. After all, I wouldn't want to put myself clean out of business, but I have a hunch there'll always be something to occupy a fella with my own particular talents. It's kind of hard to travel via Billy Club cable this way without attracting little attention, but it's still a lot cheaper than taking a cab, and it does keep one out of fresh air. Special note for those who may read this story aloud. In the sound patang, the second N in the silent is silent. Scrumpulous stand. Patang. Oh, free poem. Look, friends, you can win a banana seat bike. Okay, no need to change out the window ledge. I can tell that the office is deserted. Foggy and Karen both must have left. I wonder if they went out together. Swinging around the city alone hour after hour, a man has lots of time to think things out. And I finally decided what to do about Karen. I can't keep my feelings for her a secret any longer. For better or for worse, even though I'm destined to live out my life in unrelieved darkness, I've got to declare my love for her. All I need to do is wait for the right place and the right time. And speaking of places, let's visit the one where the Gladiator and the Masked Marauder are holed up. Listen to me, you muscle-bound clod. This is the biggest opportunity of our careers. With the Magia now leaderless, this is our chance to take it over. We'll become rulers of the world's greatest crime cartel. Okay, Marauder, so we're pretty big pumpkins over here. What's going to make all those European Joes decide to put us in charge of their worldwide operation? You may rely upon brute strength alone, my friend, but never discount the planning genius of the Masked Marauder. Remember, the wondrous levitation ray I have developed? Yeah, sure, what about it? We shall use it to capture Daredevil. But what about Magia? Don't you see? Our capture and subsequent defeat of the man without fear will make us the most famous criminals in the hemisphere? When the time comes to pick their new leader, they will have to choose the ones who bested Daredevil. Follow me. I'll explain as we go. Okay, Masked Man, keep talking. Here within this lonely power plant, a special type of android has been constructed to my exact specifications. Come off it, Marauder. That stuff went out with the Bride of Frankenstein. Do not scuff at my plan until you see what I have to show you. It's right through this door. 1972 penny. I probably have a couple of those right now. There he is, my greatest achievement, my tri-android, so-called because it would be 3 humans to bring him to life and to furnish the power for him. Marauder used to think you were nuts, but now I'm sure of it. Anyway, where do you get the 3 stooges you need? That's where my levitation machine comes in. Just watch. Huh? I see you change in fear. You cringe in fear at the awesome display of sheer power which my little device generates. It's time you realize that there are more fearsome things than your own natural strength. Blast you, Marauder! In a showdown, I'll take my own power against all your corny machines put together. You may yet have your chance, my friend, but for the moment, let's put aside our personal differences. Now that the levitation ray is activated, we must select the 3 best subjects to furnish life to our uncontrollable tri-android, or perhaps we should call him our Tri-Man. A short time later, a down-and-out wrestler known as the Mangler leaves a wrestling gym. I'm the strongest wrestler in the game, and I can't get a match. None of the other creeps will get me in the ring with me because I muss them up too much. But then, as the Mangler walks under an ordinary looking hall light, what do they expect? They're wrestlers, aren't they? When I start fighting, I see red. Nothing can stop me. I gotta, hey, what's happening? Within seconds, naught but a small battered bag remains in the spot where the Mangler had passed. There's the bag. And in another part of the teeming city, a fast-moving safecracker called the Dancer is silently going about his own endeavors. Another few seconds and I'll be done. Then no one can catch up to this shifty Dancer. Because when I start to move, I'm the fastest heist in rackets. Hey, that light was out a minute ago. Who turned it on? But alas, the Dancer is destined to receive no answer, at least not for a while. Finally, still another designant of the underworld, known simply as the Brain, pulls a light cord. It is time to study my plans for tomorrow. But for the started brain tomorrow, we'll have to wait. And so we return to the Masked Marauders playroom. Remember, gentlemen, this will not hurt you a bit, so please relax. They have nothing to worry about. We're going to pay them enough if this works. Come on, flip the switch. Let's get it over with. There, I've done it. He's coming to life. It's perfect. He'll have the strength of the Mangler, the speed of the Dancer, and the sinister cunning of the Brain. Yet, he's answerable to us. He'll obey our every command. But now, to make certain that the Magia is aware of what they accomplish, I'll contact them and tell them of our future plans. Then they can see for themselves how flawlessly we carry out our objective. How we've planned everything perfectly to the smallest detail. Minutes later, somewhere in Europe, we are receiving a televised message from America on our special closed-circuit frequency. Another applicant for Magia leadership. Very well, we shall hear what he has to say. But the one to be selected must truly perform the greatest criminal act of all. Observe, our applicant is in the infamous Masked Marauder. He has conceived a most daring plot. Within the week, my tri-android shall battle and defeat the man called Daredevil right in Madison Square Garden. Impossible! And yet, if he should accomplish such a feat, the Marauder may truly be the one to lead us. Sometime later at the law offices of Nelson and Murdoch, someone sent me a couple of tickets to the fight tonight at the Garden. How about slipping into something pugilistic and coming along, Karen? I'm sorry, Foggy, not tonight. What with Matt working late, I'd like to stay around the office in case he needs me. I know it's utterly insane, but I can't help thinking of Daredevil every time I look at Matt. I know a blind attorney can't possibly be a costumed superhero, and yet I'll have to continue the pretense of reading this book in Braille so long as she stands there watching me. But perhaps this would be a good time to talk to her. I thought I heard someone. Is that you, Foggy? And even as Matt Murdock speaks, the preliminaries are just ending at the Garden. Well, maybe you wonder, frantic one, this has to do with our Daredevil's thriller. But say with us, Prithee, for the best is yet to be. Anyways, gentlemen, Gene is batty about drawing fight scenes, and we hate to frustrate our buoyant bullpenners. Karen is hesitating about approaching me. Something must be troubling her. I'll pretend I'm not aware of her. She'll confide in me in her own good time. She's standing in the doorway, little dreaming that I'm more aware of her actions than a sighted man could be. No, we haven't forgotten about our tri-android either. See, here he is. With heavy measured steps, he trudges slowly towards the Garden Arena, the same place we visited scant 2 panels ago. But before he reaches it, Karen speaks again. I've had so much on my mind that I almost forgot this letter from Matt. Excuse me, Matt, this special delivery just came for you. And now we take you to the garden arena where the main event is about to begin. Oh, it's you, Karen. I thought I heard someone. A special delivery? I wonder who it's from. Ooh, look at all these new comic books. You could be drafted. Or 1975, you might get drafted. Would you like me to open it for you, Matt? Wait a second, Karen. What's this? Bulletin, sometimes incredible, is occurring at the garden, and pandemonium is breaking out. A powerful intruder is storming into the ring. Stand aside. There is more important work to be done here. He is brushed the referee aside as though he was a puppet. Attention all newspapers, TV, and radio. Notify Daredevil to meet me in the ring, or I'll destroy the arena and everyone within it. He's some kind of professional nut. Let's get him out of here fast. But before the two startled pugilists can make another move, out you fools, you are both unworthy of my notice. Look, did you see that? Who is he? What is he? He can't be human. Karen, did you hear that? If Daredevil doesn't appear, anything may happen. And he can't appear while Karen is watching me like a hawk. I've got to think fast. Karen, do you remember the costume Foggy used when he impersonated Daredevil? Yes, but why? I'll explain later. Get it. Seconds later. Wait, you can't. It's insane. What chance would you have? I shouldn't let you. I can do it, Karen. With your help, just in case the real Daredevil doesn't appear, we can't allow any harm to come to innocent people. If you lead me into the arena and get me somewhere near the ring, I'll try to bluff my way through with the rest of it. And there must be some way I can get separated from Karen and then appear as the real Daredevil. Then at the power plant across town. It worked. There he is. But who's the girl with him? I recognize her. It's Karen Page. She's a secretary at Nelson and Murdoch's. Suddenly, Matt, oh, I lost him. I've got to find him. He's all alone, unable to see. Matt, where are you? And then, even as the distraught girl cries in alarm, when she sees me, she'll think I'm the real Daredevil, and she'll keep searching for Matt Murdoch among the teeming crowd. But now, I've got to concentrate on what lies before me. All right, mister, you challenged Daredevil to appear. Now the next move is up to you. You must be defeated completely, eternally, and full view of thousands. That is why I was created. I have the will and I have the power to destroy you. I don't know who he is or what he is, but I'm sure of one thing. He isn't human. He said he had been created. I've got to learn why and by whom. I take it you don't intend to scrupulously follow the Marquis of Quisenberry rules, in which case I'll feel free to come up with a few unorthodox gimmicks myself, like my little drop to the floor and kick him up maneuver. Cute, eh? Or, if this doesn't grab, perhaps you prefer a more conventional karate blow, such as this. Anyone ever tell you you're a rotten conversationalist? Then and there, before the eyes of thousands, the world-famous man without fear continues to attack his larger, more powerful foe, spearheading the onslaught with blow after blow, not giving the tri-android time to regain his balance, nor launch a counterattack. Daredevil is using the type of karate chops I've read about in books, but never expected to see in real life. I've got to end this quickly and find some way to convince Karen that Matt Murdoch was wandering helplessly about while this fighting was going on. I don't get it. That goofy-looking creep tossed the two contenders out of the ring like they were nothing, and yet Daredevil making mincemeat out of him. If only I knew whom I'm fighting, and more important, who's behind him. Bang. Well, the Incredible Hulk likes Hostess apple pies. How about that? Okay. Look out. He tossed I'm clean out of the ring. Had enough, big man? He's climbed back in, coming towards me. Come on, don't be bashful. We've got to give this fans a good show. It's strange he doesn't seem any the worse for the wear. Naturally, DD has no way of knowing he's fighting a foe with the merciless strength of a mangler. And then, guided by the quick-thinking brain, the Angle Dancer and the amazing Tri-Android managed to sidestep Daredevil's next blow. My first mistake, letting him have a breather. He somehow managed to increase his speed in the process. You won't strike me again with that hand. Why not? You mean you want to make up? Look out. Oh, nah. Now it's my turn to destroy you. Duck. Daredevil hasn't a chance now. But so great is the acrobatic skill of the man without fear that the instant he released one effortless backflip lands him nimbly on his toes once more. That was a nice try, Curly, but you're not exactly waltzing around with an amateur up here. I don't know who's controlling my muscle-bound foe, but it's lead pipe cinch he won't stand for me out fighting him much longer. I've got to be prepared for anything from here on in. And among the cheering multitude we find, I can't find Matt anywhere. I should never have brought him here. We should have known the real Daredevil would show up. Attaboy, Daredevil. You got him. Go, get him. What in blazes are you made of anyway? Anyone else would be chirping with the birds right now. Bye now. Suddenly another voice rings out above the din. Karen, I didn't know you were here. You didn't tell me, honey. Foggy, have you seen Matt? I can't find him. And on a Visa screen miles away, you and your ideas, Daredevil, is demolishing your android. Wait, look, it's the lawyer Nelson and the girl Daredevil arrived with. Even though we can't hear them, I know there must be some connection between those two and Daredevil himself. Yeah, so what? The battle isn't over yet. Remember, I still have one of my levitation rays concealed in the complex of lights above the arena. Now be silent while I adjust the remote loudspeaker. Thus, seconds later, a booming voice rings out. Daredevil, hear me! Franklin Nelson and his secretary Karen are in the arena. Surrender immediately or they die. This is my final ultimatum. Next-ish, Daredevil goes wild. All right, that was Marvel Adventure featuring Daredevil #1, 25 cents back in 1975. Well, I hope you enjoyed that reading. And once again, don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate that. And give me a like. Also, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think. All right? Tell me what you want to hear. If it's in my library, we'll get it on. And remember, as Papa and Daredevil always say,
that was easy.
Until next time, Papa is out.